responsibility. But the Ministry of Education, what is the primary purpose of establishing a Ministry of Education? You have TED Fund, you have other systems, supportive systems. What are they doing? The money that have been appropriated year in, year out, what have they done with it? And now you have JAM that declared revenue every year. Can you imagine? And then internationally, nobody recognizes JAM. They deal with WAEC and NECO. But we should change our citizens. They pay heavily for the JAM. Even to take their result, they have to pay. What kind of policy are we driving for our own citizens? I believe they need to go back to the drawing board. Our educational system architecture needs to be changed, needs to be reviewed. We need to look inward to help our citizens have access to basic education. The agricultural sector, I have mentioned, we challenge the entire system, ministry by ministry. Let them mention what they have achieved 1 year in office. Every ministry you can call, let them come out and tell us this is what they achieved 1 year in office. I believe this is the best way to assess the performance of the government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that ministers will be assessed in every 6 months to know their performance. This is 1 year in office. What is the assessment of the Ministry of Education? What have they impacted 1 year in office? The journalists need to ask that question. The government needs to be open and transparent. The ministers need to be transparent. They are not serving themselves. They are serving Nigerians. Nigerians need to know. You have 1 year budget. What have you done? What did you do to transform the educational system in 1 year? How many schools have you reformed? Federal schools. If you say, okay, most of the schools are under states, the federal ones, federal universities, how many have you equipped to international standard? How many universities? Now, if you look at what the government mentioned or some of the achievements 1 year in office of, and then, what do you call it? Uninterrupted democracy. You know, all over the world, we all agree, deepening democracy refer to the process of further strengthening and expanding democratic principles and practice within a society. It involves empowering citizens to participate in decision-making processes, promoting transparency, accountability, and ensuring the protections of human rights and equality. There are several ways to deepen democracy. It involves fostering a culture of active citizenship where individuals are encouraged and empowered to participate in political processes and the civil society organization. This can be achieved through initiatives such as civil education, community outreach program, etc. I don't know if we have achieved that or 1% of it. If you look at it, our infrastructural developments have gone from bad to worse. I mentioned the health sector. There is no single hospital 1 year in office that have been equipped that they can mention or as a referral hospital that is up to date for Nigerians. I visited some of our general hospitals recently. Simple machines for dialysis and others are not working. You have to go to the private laboratories and you pay very, very heavily for it. You can imagine somebody who cannot afford 10,000 and he has an ailment that demands a lot of scanning, a lot of x-ray, where he's supposed to get it at the cheaper rate at the government hospital. The machines are not working. The machines are there, but they are not functioning. Now he needs to go to a private center to pay for 200,000 or 300,000 naira. A size of Nigeria that have a national hospital that is in decay. You have Federal Medical Center, the public wing and the private wing. You have the general hospitals where you have experienced doctors, even though some of them are living in Nigeria and the nurses. And we think we are serious. And nobody should complain. Nobody should talk. This is not who we are. Those who fought for the independence of Nigeria at the early stage provided some of these basics for the citizens. Nigeria is well endowed. We are a very rich country. No justification for the citizens to go through what they are going through today. And I believe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of a rare privileged Nigerians at his age to be a president of Nigeria. What is of utmost importance to him is to leave a legacy behind. When an elderly person becomes the president of a nation, it means that he's not looking for a house, he's not looking for a car, he's not looking for anything fancy. What he's looking forward to is to leave a legacy for the nation. The citizen can be proud of, the citizen can make reference to. May God bless late Umar Yaradua. How many years in office? People make reference to some of the very strong decisions he has taken to overhaul the system. Where are we today? Virtually all those policies have been reversed. Look at them one after the other. He brought a policy that have reconciled the country. People developed that patriotism that Nigeria is working. So if this democracy system of democracy, presidential system of democracy is not good for the nation, we have to develop the one that can fit our peculiarities. We cannot keep on going on copy and paste system of government. We cannot survive it. The nation cannot survive it. The governors have abdicated their responsibility. Because if the governors are working, some of this insecurity would have been napped at the state level. I was a chief of staff. I'm not a novice to how government is being run. I know how coordinating it is. But you have governors that nobody can call them from the villages. Nobody will have access to even a commissioner. Not to talk of a councillor, who feels he's a councillor, people from his community cannot call him, he's a big man. It's a bad system that we are running, which is not healthy for the country. Extremely very expensive. And then you remove the fuel subsidy, you say you save trillions, and you are distributing trillions to the states. There's no single changes. I must commend the president for fighting to liberate the local government autonomy, which is a very good thing to do. We must fight it all through to liberate our third tier of government. It's dead. The governors have suffocated it. So it was a good decision the Attorney General of the Federation have done. It's one of the achievements I can mention they are working on. If we can liberate the local government system, it will go a long way in reducing this level of poverty and rascality that is going on in the system. According to the Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, look at what he said. According to the sector operators, the cost of exporting 1,000 tons of cargo in Nigeria is $35,000 compared to $4,000 in Ghana, $4,000 in Ghana. Today, the leading ports for West Africa are Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic. And all these countries have modernized their port management system, leaving Nigeria far behind. This is the president of African Development Bank. And that is the truth. If you are an importer, you know what you go through in our ports. What's the justification? Why are we shortchanging our citizens? What moral reason do we have to defend that? I think the president must look into this. If the president wants to leave a modernized system, a modern Nigeria, this thing needs to be reviewed. The era of few people forming a cartel to hold Nigeria hostage should be a history. Nigeria is being held hostage. The president is very eloquent. I've listened to him. I've listened to his presentation. I don't want to believe that he's not aware. Because virtually in all his presentation, he sounds current about what is going on. So what's the problem? Is it lack of will to implement? Or is it being submissive to Western demand that compromises Nigerian citizens? At our level of independence, our level of resources, we are paying lip service to foreign interests, compromising local interest. This is not who we are. And the president must change all this. He must stand firm. He must defend the Nigerian interest first. When Trump was saying America first, he meant it. Nigeria interest must be first. No foreign interest should supersede Nigerian interest. No foreign interest whatsoever. Foreigners are free to come and invest in Nigeria. But you cannot compromise a population of over 250 million for an interest of either World Bank or Western powers. Otherwise, we have nowhere to go. And we cannot allow it to continue. The National Assembly must live up to their expectations. If the National Assembly understands, and according to survey that was conducted, 80% of Nigerians score them very, very poorly. The Senate President and the Speaker must look at those polls. The senators must look at those polls because it will be part of their history. You cannot, within 48 hours, pass a resolution or a law to change the national anthem, and you have national issues that are very precarious. Before you are taxed, you have not acted on them. You have people being kidnapped daily. You have not come up with a robust order within 48 hours to deal with it. You have